welcome back to Show Me What I've Been Missing, your pop culture podcast that says, hey, remember that thing? I'm one of your hosts, Elizabeth Stanton, and with me is my other host,
Mack. What's up, guys?
And despite what we spent the prep early before podcast time talking about, which was all about Craig Ferguson, I just wanted to bring it up one last time because I can. And we are a Craig Ferguson household collectively, both of us. We're
correct.
Craig Ferguson for life. Like the movie Fear, I'm gonna go Craig forever. No,
CF for life.
C for Craig for life. No, the show we're actually talking about is Sex and the City. Mm-hmm. I've seen it way too many times. Chris has seen it not at all, or very, very little of it. And we're at the end of season 5. It's a little short season. Short
season.
This
was the last episode, wasn't it? Oh shit! I didn't even.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? But it really feel like a.
They kind of make it feel like a season finale.
It didn't feel like it, like, because, well, I mean, yes, in the sense of, like, as far as leaving you on, like, what's going to happen next. Yes, they did leave cliffhangers, but it also feels like the same kind of level of cliffhangers they kind of leave in previous episodes, where it's like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to these ladies next? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
I think the idea was the questions are bigger, but yeah, it's a little 8-episode season because Sarah Jessica Parker was pregnant.
And I did notice in this episode, because you made me think about it, and like that dress she wore at the wedding, for sure was like hiding a baby bump. Like you can't see the baby bump, but that's definitely like a hide a baby bump type dress for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
And then we'll get to season 6A and 6B, but really it should just be 6 and 7, but whatever. I hate
are they two like complete? Almost different seasons?
No, I mean they're all one. It's all one giant season technically, but I'm like, if you're gonna call it 6A and 6B, just do 6 and 7. But like, I think we went into depth a while ago. It's a whole like a residual sneaky BS thing to not pay people, basically.
Well, first of all, let's just mark this journey that we've been on as a podcast team.
Because season 6 is the last. We're heading into the final season, buddy.
Man. That's crazy. I mean, I'm still remembering episode 1 right now, and I'm just like, man, it seemed like season 6 was so far away.
It did, yeah.
And then like here we are. We're about to our next episode we're shooting, popping right onto that. It's crazy.
But then there's the revival and the movies.
This is true.
We can keep it going forever, Chris. Forever. Yeah.
Sweet. So let's get into this one. First of all,
who do you want to start with?
Well, we just start. I mean, honestly, everybody's story is kind of connected, right?
Yeah. For once, everyone's kind of all together.
I just want to mention at the top of the episode, we see Nathan Lane because I fucking love Nathan Lane.
Always a win.
The Birdcage was my favorite movie of all time, or one of my favorite movies of all time, and him in it was fantastic. So.
They're so great. I do love watching it. Like, it's funny because I feel like it's gotten some, like hindsight, like, oh, maybe this wasn't as, but for the time it was pretty damn progressive.
Oh yeah, super progressive for the time. I mean, we're talking like mid 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, these are topics that we're still even having conversations about today, you know what I mean? So that movie was definitely ahead of its time for sure.
Because people are still flipping out about like, how can 2 men raise a kid? And they do. Right. One of my favorite scenes in the whole movie actually is the morning after Val is first back, and they're all in the kitchen. There's getting breakfast, reading paper. Like Nathan Lane's character is like doing laundry for Val, and it's so homey and cozy that I'm like, you got to be a fucking monster if you think like shit can't work.
That's the weird thing, right? Because back then it didn't even seem like it was like trying to make a statement. It was just movie.
That's,
you know what I mean? Like now you see that in the show, and it's like it's trying to make a statement. Like, it's trying to like get people to open their minds, but it's like that was just a movie. That was just like a family enjoying breakfast together.
And part of the argument is like, well, some of the gayness is treated as a joke, as a punchline, because like Nathan Lane's character is so flamboyant.
Sure,
and it's treated as a punchline, and like, is that fair? Is that not? I'm not the one to decide because I'm not a member of that community. That's how I kind of roll with stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe, but it was also a comedy, so there had to be some.
You know, what you got to go big.
Because if you're gonna say that about that movie, then you could probably say that some of the things that happened in Mrs. Doubtfire was very offensive. And then listen, and there are some things. Movie. Yeah, it's a wild fucking movie. So like, there are definitely some things. It's a wild movie, so like you can, but it's like it's just it is still a comedy. So like you gotta give a little wiggle room, because when it comes to comedy, you can't be PC the entire time, because comedy itself is not PC all the time.
But it's still it is like such a there's like such a little tender heart at the center of that movie, like that family scene.
Huge.
And even the scene where he and Robin Williams are like sitting on the bench together, and they're not able to be married or really do like a couple's thing, you know, as far as the government or taxes or whatever concerned. But he signs over half the Birdcage to Albert, that's his character, Nathan Lane's character, and it's like such a big gesture, and it's just done with the two of them on the bench. It's so good. It's just a good damn. And I'm gonna go watch the Birdcage after this.
It's a good movie. I saw it for the first time like 2 years ago, and I was like, why have I never seen this?
You had never seen it before?
Yeah. Oh, wow. An acquaintance of mine was telling me about it, and I was like, I've never seen this. What are you talking about? She's like, you never seen the Birdcage? And I watched it. I was like, I've never seen the Birdcage.
Yeah,
it's good though. It immediately became one of my top 10 movies after I saw it. So I was like, that's a good movie.
And it's also, and like one of my other favorite trivia things about it is they originally wanted Robin Williams to play Albert, play the bigger personality, and he was like, I kind of want to switch it up, and I want to do something different. So he's Armand, the quiet. He's lower energy, more reserved compared to Nathan Lane as Albert, and it's such a great shift. And you still get Robin Williams, but he's, as everybody knows, you're the history of dance thing. You're, Martha Graham, child, Madonna, but you keep it all inside. Like everybody knows that part, and that's big. But like he's so toned down compared to it's a great use of him, because it's pushing him in a different direction.
Absolutely. And like, it's not like he wasn't a talented actor that couldn't do. I mean, he showed us
Juilliard trained, baby.
Yeah, like he showed us throughout the years how good he really was. So and no one's hating.
Nope. But back to the show.
Yes, so Nathan Lane is playing. He's a piano man, essentially.
Yeah, like a piano bar thing, like lounge act.
Yeah, you would say that. Yeah, it's like a piano lounge. Yeah, it's a piano lounge. Yeah, it's like a. But to me, it's more like a Howl at the Moon type of piano lounge. It's like, because he's like making little quips and jokes and things of that nature. He's like interacting with the audience and making fun of things that are happening around him and stuff like that. So it's not so much lounge. It's like a piano bar-ish, but lounge feel. It's like an old school lounge feel, but piano bar treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So our girls are there. And I know his character name is Bobby. Fine, I'm just gonna call him Nathan Lane this whole time.
It's fine. It's Nathan Lane.
He's Nathan Lane. And so he does his performance, and he gives Carrie a shout out, because they've known each other like a long time, kind of off. Yeah. Friends, but like not super tight. Like they kind of joke it's like celebrity friends, like they know each other and are friendly,
they've just like been about town.
Yeah.
They've known each other from being around town.
And so
nights.
Yeah, exactly. They're catching up at the table. I love Charlotte being slow on the uptake, and he makes like a joke about cats, and she's like, I loved cats. And then she tries to like backpedal, and he's like, it's all jokes, it's fine.
Dude, you know what? That joke was it's even better now, because
movie.
Well, yes, because like Cats, when it was on Broadway, was like a big hit, and then after it kind of got off Broadway, people, was that really a good play?
No,
did we really enjoy this? And it's like, it's actually not. And now it's even better like to hear that joke kind of play out, because like you said, the movie came out and it was also awful, apparently. I didn't watch it.
I did. I went to that movie and it was bad, and it should feel bad. It was so bad. Oh my God. It's just like the CGI is so weird, It is just a weird show to begin with, like just out the gate.
Yeah.
The concept is so strange. And then just the performances and the look of everything, utterly bizarre all around. I did love Skimbleshanks the railway cat, and I liked the magical Mr. Mistopheles guy, because that was funny. Once his song got going, everyone in the theater I was at was like, we're here to make fun of this movie, like as a group, like, you know, each individual like in the theater was like, no, we're all here because this is bad. We decided to come have a good laugh, and we did. I wish I had been on drugs. But the magical Mr. Mistopheles song gets going, and it's like a repeating chorus thing. Yeah. And by the time like the, like, you know, once everybody got the like rhythm of it, people were like waving their arms back and forth and had cell phone lights on, you know, like lighters in the theater. Nice. And like sing along. It was great. Nice. 10 out of 10 movie theater experience. Horrible movie.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, that joke is even funnier, because like, yeah, I mean, you can like resonate with that now, because like it kind of got like an attempt at a revamp, and it just didn't go well at all.
Yeah, there's lots of, I mean, we do not have to get into Cat's discourse at all.
No.
But there's like arguments to be made about why it's as bad or stupid as people make it out to be. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's still one of my real fast. One of my favorite SNL sketches was from like the mid to late 90s, and it was like behind the scenes at Cats. The Cats ran for so long on Broadway, you know, it's just it's so routine. Yeah. So they were doing, it was like behind the scenes at Cats. So it was everybody's miserable, but there was one new guy, whoever the guest host was, who was like excited to be there. And so like he's all excited to be a cat. I think it was like James Vanderbeek or something like that. So he's like pumped to be in Cats and be a cat, and everybody else is like, you know, like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like no one wants to be there because it's just a job at this point, and no one's excited about it. It was so funny.
Dude. James Vanderbeek, hidden gem in comedy. That guy's hilarious.
He is funny.
He's very funny.
Anyway, back to our show. Sorry, I'm good. I keep digressing real hard.
It's fine. It's fine.
We're only a few minutes into this. Anywho. Yes.
Well, this episode's kind of short anyway, so like there's not much like to talk about. So, you know, we can fill up the time a little bit. Let's talk about some other things. So so then we find out that Nathan Lane is getting, he's like, okay, so to address
everyone thinks he's gay.
Yeah, everyone thinks he's gay. He's like this very flamboyant dude, you know. He's I mean, he just seems like
he is what is stereotypically
a little bit down. Yeah.
Yes. He is what is stereotypically gay interests, gay. Yeah. To their discredit, no one ever says, "Hey, remember when he like dated somebody or anything like that?"
Like, yeah, he never. I mean, and also too, remember we like him and Carrie don't actually know each other. Like they've known each other around town, like because he mentions, he's like, "Oh, we've known each other since Stanford had hair," you know.
Yeah, so he talks about since like the late '80s, maybe.
Yeah. They've known each other for a while, but they don't really know. It's not like they're not close friends like her and Samantha or anything like that. So
and this whole time, everyone has just assumed he's gay. Now that's kind of a ding on everybody because
but also he did say some things that was like, all right, you should.
Later in the episode, he says some things that make you go, even in
the conversation, because like, you know, Carrie says that he was one of the first ones to invest in Chorus Line. What straight man knows about Chorus Line? I only know Chorus Line because I went to art school. That's always why I know Chorus Line. I was forced to watch it because I had to take a dance class. That was it. I never went to art school.
Maybe you're just cultured. Maybe he's just cultured.
You stop it. Hey. You stop it right now. You stop it.
But yes, he is what if you were to bump into him on the street and talk to him for 30 seconds, you would assume.
Yeah, I think most people. I think even even
Stanford thinks he's gay.
Well, his Stanford's boyfriend was like, You sure he's married to a woman? What's going on?
But sure enough, he is in fact getting married to one of my favorite character names of all time, Bitsy Von Muffling. Great name. Such a New York, like old money, honestly. Like a New York kind of old money sounding name.
Yeah.
Bitsy.
Also a very good name to make a lot of great jokes off of, which they definitely did throughout this entire show, which I loved it.
Yeah. And so the happy couple walks away. It is an unusual coupling. They're not who you think would be paired together.
Right, because she seems a little bit older than him, right?
She's a little bit older, although that could just be, again, we could be judging. We have no idea.
Well, no, because as far as physical appearance, she just looks older than him. Like, I mean, he looks like he's in his mid-30s. maybe pushing late 30s, and she looks like she's like early 50s at least,
Yeah. Oh, I assumed 40s, but like, yeah, there's at least like a 10-year age gap.
Yeah, something
working there. She's taller, he's shorter. Not that matters, but it's just they make what would, in most judgmental eyes, be considered an unusual.
Well, that's what I thought. I was even kind of laughing because if you noticed throughout the entire conversation, the only person that kind of wasn't judging their relationship was Charlotte. And you know why she wasn't judging.
Yeah, we know why Charlotte wasn't. We'll get to that in a second.
I realized that. I was like after watching the episode, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I noticed Charlotte was very unusually quiet in this. And I thought about like maybe because she was kind of getting the little jabby jabs from the jokes for everybody because she was kind of late to the drop. But like I realized that wasn't the reason.
Yeah. Because they joke like, oh, he has no follow through. They're not gonna go through this wedding, but then sure enough, they get the invitation and they're at brunch talking about it. And Miranda's annoyed that they say they're in love because the assumption is also, and to be 100% fair, like if he was gay, he may still not wanted to have come out for who knows how many reasons. That's very personal.
I mean you're right about that but I was like, man, it's kind of strange because you would think in a place like where he's at in the setting and city he's in, he would be very okay with that because it seems to not matter,
right? But it's it still changes things.
But it could be a family thing too.
It could be family
thing or something like that.
You don't know someone's business, so
that's very true. That's very true.
So Miranda's like, why lie and say you're in love? Just say you want the companionship, which is not unheard. Sometimes people get married for companionship.
I was gonna ask you
love or lust.
No, because here's my thing too. I was gonna ask. Okay, so yes, companionship and love are two reasons to get married, but can you get married for both of those reasons? Because doesn't eventually love kind of turn into just companionship after a while, in a way, in some marriages?
In some point, yeah. And because they're also talking about, like, I think Carrie kind of ponders it later, like, is it a good strategy to marry a friend? It's like, you gotta marry someone you're gonna want to live with.
Yeah,
forever.
Right. Exactly. Because again, too,
and that's not a bad thing to find. You want to find someone you would like to live with.
Right. Because how do we know? Because honestly too, man, it's always so weird because people say we get married for love, but I feel like, to me, honestly, it's a stage, right? Maybe you get a little lust, and then that lust kind of turns into love, and then that love kind of turns to just companionship, and you still have feelings for each other. Obviously, still, have sex and things of that nature, still are a couple, but I think the companionship becomes the stability of the relationship over all the emotion of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's, because the way, not necessarily the way they were saying it in this episode, but the way Miranda kind of phrased it, she made it seem like, you can only get married for love or companionship, and you can't have both.
Yeah.
But I think that's not fair, because
I think ideally you have both. Like you said, at different stages. I think there is the sort of romantic butterfly, almost initial thing. And people don't like the word settle, but I think you do settle into a comfort zone. And it's strange though, because people are always like, oh, you want to reinvigorate the relationship.
And you can,
and you should, but I think, I don't think it has to be you're in love forever and it's a fairy tale.
And it shouldn't have to be a requirement, in the sense of if you're trying to revamp it, like you said, you should be married to somebody that you actually fucking like. Fuck all the love shit, fuck all the feeling shit. Can I stand being around this person? If they're just sitting next to me, not saying anything, can I stand being around this person?
Yeah, period. Comfortable silence and all that. Nothing drives me crazier than reading or watching things where people are I fucking hate my partner, and I'm like, then why did you fucking marry them?
Right.
If you don't like them, get divorced or don't marry them or whatever, because I just think that's terrible for everybody involved, especially if you have kids and you're I don't like my partner, for whatever,
Yeah, no, I
get
totally.
the Can you find things annoying? Can you be angered by them?
Oh, yeah, of course. Right.
Of course.
Yeah. But it's not all blissful. And I think that's another thing that two people get kind of confused when it comes to marriages. I think it's gonna be like just all bliss. Like this person, like you're just gonna find somebody that's just so necessarily perfect for you that like every little thing that they do is never gonna annoy you. Like you're never gonna like, have it no corner animosity towards each other at all. And it's like that's not human beings, man. Like
that's you get angry, you get annoyed, but you got to work it out. You got to communicate, fix it. You can't let it fester and be a horrible thing. But like you shouldn't not like them. Like I don't understand, getting married and then being like, I don't like my. I mean, things change.
No, things can change, but I think a lot of times I don't think.
But I feel like people sometimes marry people they don't fucking like.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was like, I don't think it really changes necessarily. I think some people just either get married because they think that's just like what they're supposed to do. Like, well, we've been together for so long, we're just supposed to do that. Even though like they probably should have broke up a long time ago, but they still end up just getting married anyway because they decided to just stay together. Because that's to me, I think there's no way if you love somebody, truly love somebody before you got married to them, then I think just naturally you have an inkling to want to fix things if they start to go bad. So I just don't think that you just stop liking somebody.
Yeah.
I think you just never liked them in the first place, and you were just thinking, well, I'm of a certain age, or we've been together this long, so we might as well just get married. And that's what changes, is because you just, in the sense of a lack of better words, you settled.
And that's the bad kind of settling, where you just are like, because I think we've talked about like the show is so hard on like timelines. Like they're all like, I'm in my 30s, and if I don't get married by 35, 36, 37, whatever, it's all over. And it's like, no, maybe you just don't, you just haven't found a person. I don't love the phrase like your person, but I mean, I guess it fits. It's like you haven't found your person. Like you haven't found the person you want to be with. And I think that's so, like, did Trey and Charlotte love each other? I think they did, but they didn't like each other.
No,
and it didn't work out.
Yeah, that's my thing too. It's like, it's a perfect example. I don't think that they actually liked each other. I think that they saw each other as they fit these boxes, so we should be together. Like, said person comes from an upstanding family, I come from an upstanding family. We have the same values, but there was no real attraction there. I think the physical attraction died at like the very beginning of the relationship.
And that's like I said, like I don't think I think Trey or if not love, they at least care for each other.
Yes.
100%. Trey certainly cares for Charlotte. Trey cared for Charlotte enough to be like, this marriage went bad, I want her to have that apartment.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the same thing where she's like, she cared for Trey, but she's knew it wasn't gonna work out, and he had the whole mom thing too. But like, but she still cared for Trey the person,
right?
And but they didn't ultimately like each other because they only barely knew each other. If you really think
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Like, they were only together like 6 to 8 months before they got married or something like
nuts that. Like that. Yeah. So it's like all told, like 2 to 3 years of like time maybe, and that's I might be tacking on way more.
You might be. It might have been like a year and a half.
I think
it might be like a year.
I think 2 is the max.
Might be max. I was there. 2 might be max for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But speaking of Charlotte, while they're at the brunch talking about the wedding, she confesses that she is sort of seeing someone, and she's like, he's not my type, he's bold, he's short, he talks with his mouth full, and she doesn't even want to be seen in public with him, but she's like, but the sex is really good and I like
it. See, that I was like, the way, because like here's my thing too, man. I know this much about women. If you don't really like the person that you're with, you ain't telling nobody about that shit. Nobody finds out, not even your closest friend. Maybe like your bestest friend, like their best friend, but you're not going to share it with the group. But you may share it with one of them in the group. Like if she'd have just told maybe Carrie or something like that, I would be like, all right, she don't really like him. It's about the sex. But when she told the whole group, I was like, oh, she likes him.
She likes him.
You like him. She likes him. Because like even too, right? Because like they're talking about the ladies are talking about going to the wedding or whatnot, and later we smash cut to them hanging out after clearly they had sex and like
eating in bed too.
Eating dude, Charlotte don't eat in bed. Charlotte ain't a type of girl that eats in bed, and she's letting this man eat greasy pizza in her bed, son. And he kissed her with a greasy mouth. She was like,
"Oh, she's like, stop!" She's like, "Stop it!" She doesn't stop it though. She lets it happen.
Smitten, bro.
But
Smitten, my boy.
Yeah, but she, let's see. So he happens to have been invited to that wedding. He knows like Bitsy, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And but she's like, I don't want to go because first she's like, I'm worried about swimsuit season because this is summer, and he's like, please, you're hot. Yeah. Don't even try that shit with me.
Yeah. He knew she was bullshit. She's like, girl, look at you. You know what you look like. You fucking go running every day. Stop lying.
Right? And so then she goes, it's your hairy back. You should wax it. And he's like, I will wax my back if you come to the wedding with me. And she goes, okay, fine. And they make a deal,
which I think was a bad choice.
it turns out to be a bad choice. But real quick, I want to bring this up because Carrie says it at the brunch, and then when she's doing her little fake writing,
yeah, that's weird though, right? Because honestly, to be fair, I'm gonna give her a little bit of credit. Because I would have thought that, like, after she wrote this book and became a bestseller, that she would like quit the column job and just like, call herself an author. But she's still sticking to the column. So I'm gonna give her credit for that. She's like, she knows who the fuck she is. She's like, I'm not a writer. I write a column. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
Fair. While she's writing it, and she says the phrase at brunch as well. She's basically referring to the butterfly feeling you get, like where you're giddy and happy. But she calls it the Zaza Zoo. It is the most forced, like, stupid catchphrase this show has ever tried to do. And what kills me about it.
You hate this phrase. I didn't like it. Phrase. You hate this phrase. It is grotesque to you. You do not like it.
It's so stupid. It's something no one has ever said.
No, I've never heard it.
Or it's not like it's from nowhere. It's and I was thinking about it because like I know the show had like put other things in like the pop culture like lexicon of how things like Manolos, like people know what the shoe is and all that kind of stuff. So it's done stuff like that. This feels like, I don't know if they were like, we're only doing 8 episodes this season. We don't got time to see what naturally occurs as like a catchphrase pop culture touchstone.
Yeah.
Somebody write a stupid thing into that you mean butterflies, but you're going to say something fucking dumb instead. And they'll go with Zaza Zoo. I want to be clear. It's such a dumb, stupid phrase that they don't even close the episode with it. And they're building to a whole point about like, you wanted to have the butterflies and having it be a thing, and they call it butterflies. They don't even call it Zaza Zoo in the last line.
Right,
and it's the stupidest thing in the world. Oh,
that's very funny. I did not notice that, but now that you said it out loud, they never. Yeah, they say it. I think
they say it a few more times, but
and they make fun of it even. And within the episode, Miranda makes fun of it.
Because like it's like, what do you do when you don't have butterflies? You got Zaza you. I think it's like it's obviously an easy thing to pun, but without giving anything away for the following season, this just to me shows like the show could organically generate like this kind of pop culture phrase that is going to this day. The show generated "He's Just Not That Into You."
Is that right?
Yeah, I think that or kind of they coincided because a writer on the show, the comedian guy, I think, did he write the book before or after the show? But it was a dating advice book, and so we got the movie and everything. It has like everybody in it and whatnot. Which actually I kind of like the movie. It's a pretty good little movie.
I do too. I love Justin Long. Justin Long's the shit.
I think it got like everyone was like wrote it off. It's actually quite a.
I think I might watch that tonight. Yeah, I might watch that tonight.
It airs on E and or Bravo all the fucking time.
Oh, I bet. That's 100% E movie. What are you talking about?
Almost
E and Bravo. Shit,
almost like every Sunday morning for a hot minute, it would be on, and it would be the perfect like I'm waking up, I'm making breakfast, I'm going about my chores and stuff. It's a great movie for that. And it's just a good little movie in general.
Also, Crazy Stupid Love is a great movie.
Yeah. But I don't want to, because there is a whole episode dedicated to him. He's just not that into it. I won't go too deep into it. But just my point is that the show can naturally generate that stuff. This was so forced, it's maddening.
Yeah, because it was almost as if it's like, they came up, they were writing the season. It's like they realized like, oh shit, we don't have like a catchphrase for the season. Like we don't have to kind of like mark the season as. So they came up with Zaza Zoo, and it just didn't. It didn't work. It's okay. So nice try. So you only had 8 episodes. It can't all be
short window, and you missed it.
You missed it.
Can't force the window open either.
Right. So they all talk about going to the wedding. They're all like,
Samantha's going to throw a party because she wants like basically compensation for being dumped by Richard, because she jokes like, I can't believe we're going to a wedding in the Hamptons with nowhere to stay. I should have at least held out till after Labor Day to break up with Richard because he has a Hamptons house, and that's where to go. But then she calls him up and she's like, I am going to your house in the Hamptons. I'm throwing a party there. You owe me this. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
I guess he lets it happen because she's never stopped by anybody. I mean, the bimbo girls come into play, and we'll get into them. But as far as like secure,
get into that, not into them.
Sorry.
It was almost another version of business. You try to be slick there, Elizabeth. I caught you in your business. All right, I got you. You try to slide one in there, but I got you.
No business like hoe business.
And that's how we end it. All right.
Okay,
I kind of had a little bit of a beef with that.
It's weird.
I just I don't know how I felt about, like, clearly this was just a thing, just a plot convenience,
it's a plot
to get it out there to get him to the Hamptons. But and kudos to Richard, as a, even though he wasn't seen or anything, like actually saying yes to this or whatever, but kudos to him to just be like, yeah, whatever, I don't give a fuck, like, use it.
He's like, I'll just go to my other Hamptons house.
Probably. Right. Like, honestly, yeah. I was like, to be honest with you, it's like, I was upset about her doing it. I was like, man, what are you doing, man? That's not you. Like, that's mad petty or whatever. But then I was just like, also, that's like a baller move on Richard's part. Just like, yeah, whatever, use my house. Like, I got money. Like,
see if I give a fuck.
Yeah, see if I give a fuck. Like, what are you gonna do? You can burn the motherfucker down. I got insurance. Like, let's go. Like, that's like, that just kind of lets you know how much money this guy has. That we're like, somebody's like, I'm using your Hampton house, and he's like, bitch, I'll leave the keys under the rug. But what? Don't care.
Don't give a
stay there all you want.
Yeah.
Lock it on your way out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then Miranda gets, this is all before we gotta make one last stop before they hit the road for Hamptons. Miranda gets home to Steve and the baby napping. Yes. And she's super tired too, and she lies down next to him, and he brought flowers, these nice lilacs from a garden nearby. Not like a big gesture thing, but just like a nice little sprig of them, and they're very pretty. I do like them.
I was gonna ask, do lilacs smell good? I don't think I've ever actually seen
they're floral, obviously, but like they're people grow them like in front of their doorways all the time. Like we used to have a lilac bush actually in my backyard. They're just a nice flower to have around.
Okay.
I do prefer like lavender, if I'm honest, but like lilac's like a nice floral
alternative.
Scent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, apparently that did the trick because
boom, they were kissing and then they fucked.
Yeah, you know what?
The baby in the room though. Apparently.
I was I mean, listen, she couldn't do it with the guy from before, but I mean, she could at least do it with the guy that's the father. Yeah. And I was gonna wonder. I was like, man, because I was kind of waiting for this to kind of happen. I was like, at some point they're gonna like hook up again. Like it almost.
She's gonna get pregnant again. I'm just kidding.
Doesn't
happen.
Okay. Don't worry. I was like, well, don't hit me with that.
Don't give me heart.
Don't hit me with that. Like, come on. No, but it's like I was wondering because like even in real life, it's like almost inevitable because she's not in a relationship, he's not in a relationship, and you got two single parents that are always around this kid and stuff like that, and then like you're kind of connected in this way biologically that you can't really like fight. So like at some point you kind of backslide almost every time. Like even in like I said, even in real life, I've heard this over and over again. It's like I didn't mean to have sex with my baby daddy, but like I did. Like you almost like can't help it. You know what I mean? So I was waiting for that to happen. I was like, when is this? I thought it was gonna be next season, but we got it in this one.
So they're on the road and pulled over having some lunch, and Miranda, confesses that to Carrie because she is Carrie's +1, by the way. And she's
that's right.
She's like, not having sex is like the only thing holding their relationship together, and so now it's gonna be all complicated.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, man, this is gonna complicate things because Steve definitely. I feel like after they had sex, he's probably thinking, oh, we're gonna be together.
We're gonna be back together.
Yeah, we're gonna be a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she definitely fucked up on that one. I would definitely agree with that.
And Samantha's planning the party, and she doesn't want baby Brady to come, but there's no one to watch him, so just keep that in mind. But that's not really a big deal.
Okay,
but also I don't blame her for not wanting to.
No, don't either. I don't either. But also, it's like it's kind of too late to really ask that. You're halfway to the Hamptons already,
and you probably should have said, hey, Miranda, can you arrange for Steve to watch Brady for the weekend because we're going to this wedding in the Hamptons?
Which she just said no because he just slept with him, so it would have happened.
Yeah, maybe that's a deleted scene. Yeah, where she's like, no, I got to run and I'm taking the baby with me because I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
But something more interesting happens at this little roadside hot dog stand.
Tell us about it.
Who should pull up on a motorcycle but one Mr. Jack Berger, who you may recall a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
And she is just as surprised to see him as we are. And she's
like, well, Harley for some weird reason.
Well, he explains that she's like, I didn't think you were a motorcycle guy. He's like, I didn't think I was either until my breakup.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh. And they're all cute, flirty again with the jokes and the banter. And Carrie invites him to Samantha's party. He has a house in the Hamptons too. Hot damn. So
yeah, and he's just a photographer, right?
No, he's a writer, author.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's how they did. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I also suspect family money, but just about.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it must be family money because I mean, as far as they didn't make him out to seem like he was just like a super successful writer. You know what I mean? Like because I think to have a house in the Hamptons, you got to be like J.K. Rowling's money. You know what I mean? As a writer.
Yeah. But that's my suspicion. I may be wrong because of a plot point later in the next season, but I won't bring it up now.
Okay.
But Carrie's got Zazazu big time. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so stupid. I can't. You can't make me like it. No one's gonna make me like it. I can't do it. So dumb.
I love it now, just because it fills you with such hate.
So much rage.
Oh my god.
I was turning beet red in the last episode because you were making me laugh, and now I'm turning beet red in this episode because I'm fucking furious at the dumbest phrase I've ever heard in my life.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Oh man, that was fantastic. You hate it so much. Now it's my new favorite. I'm never not saying it now.
Fills me with rage.
Oh man. But she does have it. She's all like
she does. She's like, she's deep smit.
Deep in the schmidt.
So Samantha is setting her party up when these three young ladies, if you can call them that, pull up in a convertible. And Richard told them they could use the house whenever they want, and they just ignore Samantha.
Now, see, okay, because I was wondering that. I was like, okay, because I'm assuming this is something that maybe he had arranged long before.
He probably told them long before, like, anytime you girls want, just go to my house in the Hamptons.
Right. That's what I was thinking, because I was like, did he do a double back petty where she's like, I'm taking your house and then send these, you know what I'm saying? Like send these women there. Because then I was like, if he did that, also baller move.
We don't know a lot about him in this episode. That would be fucking gangster if he if he got that voicemail and was like, sure, use the house, Samantha, and then he calmly went to those three chicks like, hey girls, this is a good weekend to go to the Hamptons. Remember, you can use my house whenever you like. You should go.
Yeah, there's going to be a party this weekend in my house.
No, he doesn't even put the party vibe out. He just puts it in their ear, like, you should go to the Hamptons this weekend. Have a nice time. Don't forget, you always have access to my house in the Hamptons. Right. You should go. You should go soon. Yeah. Summer's almost over.
It's going to be 70 degrees the whole weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be weather's going to be beautiful. It's almost Labor Day. You girls should really go.
Right. I kind of wanted to be that
cartoon villain.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to be that. He sent them out there, and just to fuck with Samantha. Because, in a way, if he did do that, she kind of deserved it, because you just called him up. It's like, I'm gonna take your house for the weekend and go fuck yourself. Like, all right, go take my house, but you're also gonna deal with the women I've been rebounding with. Mm-hmm. Enjoy that.
Yeah. And these are not very classy ladies. They're at the party pool.
It don't matter. You know what matters is that what makes it the worst, the biggest dig in the stomach, is that they're young.
They're young. They're so young.
They're young. Like, they look like they just hit 21.
They look like they're his 20-something daughters.
Yeah, like they just hit 21. Yeah. So,
but they take off their tops, so I'll be clear, because that does come into play.
Yes,
they're taking off at this otherwise very fancy, Hamptons pool party.
Charlotte, that's so inappropriate.
It's so inappropriate. But Harry's making fun of their booty. He kind of keeps calling them tits too, which is just so aggressive.
Like, stop saying tits. Yeah. But that's the thing, right? The whole time he's being kind of gross and shit like that, she's loving that.
She loves it.
She loves it. She loves it.
Oh, she loves it. But she's picking on his shirt. He's wearing kind of a dorky tiki shirt. And then he takes it off though per her request, and his waxed back is even grosser than the hairy one. It's all red and inflamed, and I feel bad, because I bet that in real life would be so
bad. It would suck. I
hate waxing.
that kind of shirt that he was wearing, because it didn't look like a very flowy like a very flowy type of it looked like it was almost instead of being a usual Hawaiian shirt, it's kind of flowy and loose fabric. It looked like it was kind of a thicker tiki fabric. It was almost like it was a warming layer rather than to try to keep cool.
But then we jump from them real quick over to Bitsy talking to Carrie about how great the sex is, because apparently she and Nathan Lane are doing it. Which everyone was like, no way, there's no way they're having sex, haha, because he's gay.
Everybody's like, get the fuck out.
Everyone's so weirded out. Stanford's like, oh, okay, but his boyfriend Marcus shows up, and Marcus is in little tiny swim trunks. Yeah. And Nathan Lane is going on and on and on and on and on about how hot he is.
Yeah.
And Bitsy's just laughing, having a good time, and they kind of go away, and they're all like, don't you think it's so obvious? But then sweet Marcus just goes, maybe he just makes her laugh.
To be fair, he was the sweetest one of all of them. He's just maybe I should stop judging. Maybe he's just he makes her laugh. Because to be honest with you, honestly too, to be fair, that moment was probably also a straight moment. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, straight dudes can be very homocentric when it comes to other dudes' bodies. We'll compliment each other in the most homosexual-ish way,
homoerotic way,
and still be straight, but still be yo, man, I would suck your dick. Whoa.
I've seen some really funny TikToks of there's the guy who splits logs. Sometimes he does it with his legs or whatever. Or there was it's hot. It's cool. Or there was something. Oh, there was some guy. It's a good-looking guy, but he's in a construction jumpsuit, and then they do one of those cool edits, and he's all GQ'd out, and then some guy stitched it with him kind of watching the video, and it says achievement unlocked, a little bit gay, and he was oh, okay, because it's sorry, attractive people are attractive no matter what gender they are.
So I'm saying, that scene necessarily wasn't obviously he's gay, you know what I mean? Because the jokes that he was making, a straight man could have easily made jokes like that. You know what I mean?
It's just honestly, ambiguous enough.
It was more frat humor than I would say gay humor, to be honest with
you. So then we go back to Charlotte, who's complaining that Harry's eating at the buffet and his back is grossing people out. So put your shirt back on, and he's got sauce on his face, and he's like, whatever. You love it, but he's like, is there anything I'm gonna do today that won't annoy you?
Well, she's like, why are you eating before we even sit down? It's like,
it's a buffet, bitch.
Everybody eats. Has a couple of nipples before.
You gotta test the material at the buffet. You gotta make sure
everybody does that. Even the most hoity-toity people have a little taste before they sit down.
Yeah.
Also, though, it was like funny because I was thinking too, is this Charlotte's bad boy?
Oh, maybe.
Right? Because everybody has I guess every girl says that they dated at least one bad boy. And really, I mean, other than like some of like the weirdos she's dated, is this kind of her bad boy? Like because like she's dated weirdos. I don't count that as bad boys. Like this is like the bad boy, like the one that she knows she shouldn't be with, she shouldn't be around, she shouldn't be dating him, but like she just can't. Something about him is like drawing her in. You know?
Yeah. He's also, I mean, can we just jump to the end for them real quick? Because he's also sort of forbidden fruit, so to speak, in a way, because he is he's Jewish, and he's like, and I have to marry a Jewish woman. That's like his deal breaker thing. But he's like, I don't know what to do though, because I am so madly in love with you.
Right.
And they joke, and but it is sort of like a waspy girl like her. It is a quote unquote a bad boy to date a Jewish guy. Not saying Jewish guys or people are bad. I want to be very clear on that.
But like, it's his attitude, his way he carries himself. He's like a bad boy.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah. But there's also that layer to it of sort of this cultural difference too, in a big in a way. Which no spoilers, but does come into play pretty heavily.
It's already making a factor.
Yeah, but no, it really, really, really impacts things. Yeah. I actually, before we get into the next season, I kind of want to look up how people feel about how his Jewishness is treated within the show as like a thing. Like
that'd be interesting
because it's. I won't go further because I'm going to spoil it for you. I don't want to, but
no. That's
fine. But I somebody remind me to do a little digging, whether it's you or someone in the comments.
We'll do that
to see how it's treated within the show, because it is, I think, interesting.
Okay.
I'm not a Jewish person though. And it's one of those things where it's like I can't really speak to the experience or how people feel about it, but I will do my best to find out how people felt about it.
Maybe we'll bring Emma on and see how she feels about it.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Everything he's doing, but even then, right, he's still kind of like getting past all like, because she's like constantly shit testing him. He's like always kind of passing her shit test, and she's like, "Oh, you have sauce on your face," and he just like kisses her. He's like, "Now you have sauce on your face," and she's just like,
she's like, "Stop!"
She's like, "You're so gross. I love it."
And then Samantha and Carrie are talking, and Samantha's kind of like questioning what she did here, and then she's like, "Do you think Richard slept with those girls?" And Carrie's like, "No, I think they're just friends." Duh. Samantha knows, but
Samantha, why would you even ask that question in your head? You know well.
She's hurt.
You think those girls are just coming to his house to play in his pool? You think? Here's the thing. Now, right. In general, women like that can probably get things out of rich men without having to do anything. Yeah. But we know Richard is not one of those kind of men.
He fucking loves sex. A lot.
He's not gonna let these women like take advantage of him and not be getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you even asked that, you already knew the answer.
Yeah.
You knew the answer. You knew that because it took you forever. You were so reluctant to even get in a relationship with him because of who he was. So you know he hit all that. You know what happened. He probably had them all at the same time. What are you talking about, Smith?
Yeah. But Berger arrives at the party and goes off with Carrie, and they're sitting on the grass somewhere. It's very cute. And they're talking. He's talking about his ex and like this garden she put in there, like I guess in the Hamptons house, and it's like he's like, it's just a sad reminder. And he's like kind of joking, but then Carrie just sort of unloads about like her breakup with Aiden, and like they didn't hurt each other enough the first time, so they did it again, and moving in and moving out, and she just word vomit all over.
Word vomited, but she conveniently left out the I cheated on him.
She sure left that part out.
Left that shit out. She said we hurt each other. We hurt each other. We didn't hurt each other enough.
I'm sorry.
Who's the we?
Who's the we? Who is the we?
The only time he was even somewhat of a bad guy was like the second time when you came sniffing around again. He was like kind of a dick to you.
Yeah,
that was like the only time.
Understandably so.
Understandably so. Yeah, it wasn't even like he was trying to be mean. It was really more of a defense mechanism.
Yeah. Yes, he's like, I gotta kind of test this bitch because she broke my heart round one. Yeah, the only criminal there is all of 5'2". Yeah, and wearing fancy shoes all the time, and it's you, Carrie.
Yeah,
it's you.
Yeah, man.
But she leaves that part out, and word vomits all over Berger, and he goes from kind of chuckling at it to looking like more and more scared until he just gets up and leaves.
Damn near wrecking his bike to get the fuck out of there.
Can barely get it started, and it's like struggling to pull away, and it's like I gotta go, bye.
Yeah, I was like, did she just talk herself out of some dick?
I think she did.
She might be the first woman in the history that's ever talked herself out of kids. Possibly. I don't think any woman's ever been able to do that.
Yeah. So back at the party, Samantha's in the kitchen with these bimbo girls, and they're like going through the fridge and annoying her, and she's like, I paid for everything at this party.
Yeah.
Except for your boobs, haha. And they're like, well, maybe if you had bigger boobs, you'd still be with Richard. And they laugh at her, and she gets mad and throws a cantaloupe at them, which breaks a window in Richard's house.
I'm not gonna front though. Was she already being catty with them? Yes, but they were also being
it's a mutual
super rude. They were being super rude from the get-go. Like the fact that they even showed up, she was like, I have the house for the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a party. Y'all can't come. Or like they're just like, no, we're gonna do whatever we want. We're gonna be, we'll be gone by then. Then they didn't leave the party.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're not even invited to the party, and you're just gonna dine on the food and the drinks. So first of all, her throwing a cantaloupe was mild, because I'd have beat their asses and drawn them the fuck out. What are you talking about? I'd have had, matter of fact, I would have had the cops called.
I know. I'm like surprised Samantha didn't arrest them, but I think it would have like led to like a bunch of complications, because it's not Samantha's house either. So she probably
it's not.
But call the cops.
I mean, she could have, because technically she did have the house for the weekend, and like she could call Richard and be like, "Hey, he said I have his house."
Yeah.
Because and Richard would have sided with her anyway. Like at the end of the day, probably. Like he's still a good enough guy to be like, "Yeah, I told her she could have the house. There technically should not be there."
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit like that. I don't know if she's gonna have to pay for that window though.
Yep.
That she broke, because she definitely threw the shit out of that cantaloupe.
Oh yeah. So the next day, Stanford and Marcus are watching Brady while Miranda and Carrie have some brunch, and Carrie tells Miranda about Berger's hasty exit. She's like, I revealed a little too much too soon, and she blames the butterflies, but she uses the other phrase that I hate.
No, you're gonna say it, Elizabeth. You say it. What is you? I think that's the last time we hear it, other than like
I think it is the last time
we
hear
of it.
Yeah. Thank God. I can't.
I just wanted you to say it. Oh, fantastic! I love it.
And she's kind of saying like Bitsy inspired her to maybe sort of settle, but like I think she's missing that Bitsy seems really happy. With Nathan Lane.
Yeah, she does. I mean, honestly, at first, the beginning of this episode, I was kind of, skeptical about it too. But, after seeing them at the party and things of that nature, I was like, oh, this might be a legit relationship.
Like Marcus said, like he makes her laugh. Like it's, people have, it's been joked about where it's like, and even Miranda's like, I'd marry Steve if he was gay, because that would make, their life easier. Because I think, and it's maybe just a societal like push that women have had more, is like you want like everybody wants a companion though. I don't want to say that, but like there's always I feel like you're generalizing. I don't want to overstep, but like
no, say it.
Gay men interest, really stereotypical, like what you could generally consider like gay men interests and women interests overlap a lot. Like theater or movies or like just those kind of things tend to overlap. And so you want to be with someone who enjoys those type of things, because sometimes you get girls or women who are with guys who like straight guys treat everything that women like in a lot of ways like it's stupid and frivolous and bad. And that even just outside of relationships, it happens. Like people are always like, now like is some of this stuff silly and goofy and stupid, of course, but like like Twilight and things like that are treated like crap because it's something that teen girls liked, and for misogynistic reasons, things that women are into are generally treated as like a less than thing. Like it's not as worthwhile. But then, but people pointed out, and I'm not the first person to say this, like, how many middle-aged men do you know who are obsessed with the Beatles? Well, guess who fucking launched them to mega heights? Teenage girls. Yeah. That's who was obsessed with them, you know, sort of initially, and pushed that mania forward to make them so widespread that everybody could get into them.
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of thing. But it's the you know, well, the girls don't understand the music though. They're not like into it that way. Like, that's that you get that crap. So I could get wanting to be with like a gay guy who had your similar interests, because hopefully, like, I'm trying to find a straight guy who has my similar interests. I don't need them to be 100%. Like, sometimes there will be things like I'm just not into, or vice versa. Yeah. But you know, to not have someone write off your interests as stupid or lame or useless or pointless is like a big deal. And I think that's maybe a little bit what Mitzi's getting out of this deal, among other things.
I mean, like, you know, gay or not, I mean, he's like kind of an effeminate man. So like, hey, you know, he clearly loves musical. He loves Broadways and things of that nature. I mean,
and he seems to like and understand women, which I think is what women are craving. And like, obviously, like, sexual attraction is a big thing. So like, maybe you're not sexually attracted to like your gay friend, but like you can love them to death because they have the similar interests you do that like maybe your straight male partner doesn't. And so that happens a lot.
And there's companionship in that too, right?
Exactly. You know? It's the companionship that's missing. And that's where you run into like, why did you marry someone you didn't like? You don't like anything about them. You don't like anything they do or are interested in. Like, how can you be with someone who like you don't have like any shared interest, you know, beyond a certain thing? Like, my brother and sister-in-law have different interests, but like they have a lot of big important shared ones. They love like all the fantasy stuff. They like to play D&D together. You know, it's
nice.
It's like that's, I'm like, that's adorable. That's really sweet. Like, and that's a long-term companion thing, because it's like, it's not like they're like getting horned up at the D&D table. It's like, we're friends and we're playing Dungeons and Dragons together. It's the last time I ever say anything like that about
I don't think anyone's ever gotten horned up at the D&D.
You'd be surprised.
Correct. You're right. I probably would be. You're right. You're damn right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so anyway, they Carrie does compliment Stanford on his boyfriend and finding Marcus and how happy they are. And Stanford's like, we haven't had sex in a really long time.
Yeah, she's like relieved, which is typical Carrie. She's like, "Oh wait, Carrie. You don't have a perfect relationship? Great, I feel better about myself."
Right, because then this crew goes to this.
Not wedding. Like, oh, what's going on? What's like, what happened? Why have you guys having sex?
Yeah, she doesn't even follow up on
it. Just happy that your relationship is not as perfect as I thought it was. Yeah. Just happy for that.
But yeah, this cynical ass crew goes to this wedding and they're cracking jokes during the vows the whole time. And I think the Harry even gets a joke in though, which obviously wins everybody over, which I think is really, really cute when that happens. He makes a little like Bitsy Von Muffling joke or something like that, and you can see like Miranda and Samantha kind of smile, and it's like, oh, it's good when your friends like your guy, you know.
Well, because at this point he had to start winning brownie points with the girls, because you could tell like something was forming. Mm-hmm. in their relationship between, it wasn't just like sex and
it's getting whatever serious.
It's getting real. It's getting real.
But the vows are sweet, and they kind of, you know, forces everybody to realize that this couple, whatever you think of them, however you feel about them, they found something real with each other. And they do close with a kiss, and they make a snarky comment about like, prove it.
Right.
But at the reception, Harry comes up to Charlotte, is trying to lure her on the dance floor. It's so dorky, but it's so kind of charming. He's doing all these like dorky, like almost doing like the fish thing, like the fishing thing.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of endearing, and you know, Carrie and Miranda like him too, and that's when they go out. He and Charlotte go on the dance floor, and he does.
By the way, he does clean up nicely. Like
he does.
Stuff like
he looks
that.
good in his suit.
He does. You know, he put in some real effort to try to like look presentable for her.
But that's when they get on the dance floor. That's when they admit they're kind of pretty much falling for each other. But he's like, here's the hiccup: is I have to marry a Jewish woman.
Not gonna lie, I didn't see that coming. Like when she's like, I'm falling for you, he's like, I'm falling for you, but he's like, I'm Jewish, so we really can't be together. I did not expect him to be the one to kind of drop the this ain't really gonna work out bomb. You know what I mean? I thought that was gonna come from her, which is,
it's a good reversal because
it kind of goes with this whole episode. It's like things don't seem what they seem. You know what I mean?
Yep. So Miranda is at the table, and we'll get to Carrie in a second. Miranda's at the table alone, and she sees some lilacs on the table, and she's like, should we give Daddy a call? She's got baby Brady with her. And she goes to call him and tell him, oh, we miss you. But then she gets the voicemail and kind of stops and thinks better of it because she knows the relationship is already complicated enough as it is, and now they fuck recently.
And it's also like not even necessarily authentic that she misses him. It's kind of, I think she's just kind of like caught up in all the moments, the romance of the wedding, and then she saw the lilacs, and they just had sex. Like it's not really like true feelings. It's just kind of a momentary, fleeting things.
Yeah, for sure. But then Carrie's off eating cake, and she's approached by Nathan Lane, who's like, can you believe this wedding? Which makes me laugh. Because it just is a nice nod to him going, I know what
y'all been saying. Yeah, I know what y'all been saying.
I'm not stupid. Like, my ears work.
Right.
And he's like, I do love Bitsy in case you were placing any bets on it. You know, like, but he's very gracious, I have to say, about it, you know.
Yeah.
As he's calling her out, but with like a wink and like I know what everybody thinks, but to his credit, he's like, I don't care.
That's what I was gonna say. Like that's what kind of made me like realize not that, but like this that like kind of solidifies my thinking of this could actually be legit no matter what it is, because he just doesn't care. He's like, I know what everybody's been saying. I know how I act. I know how I present myself, but this is what it is. You can be happy for me or you can not. I don't care.
You cannot, and I don't care.
We're still gonna do what we're doing.
Enjoy the cake. I'm gonna go dance with my bride, and he does, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
And whom should arrive at the wedding? But one Berger. He sort of is crashing technically, but what do you call it? He gets there and she apologizes for basically oversharing, and he's like, no, I rushed off a little fast, and he was like, I realized I didn't want to do this, and so she's sort of like, uh-oh. He's like, I realized we should date before we break up, which is pretty funny. It actually made me laugh
because they kind of did break up. It was kind of breakup moment.
Broke up without before things even started, really.
100%.
But so he'll be around.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, too, it's so funny too, man, because this interaction was probably the most awkward interaction they've ever had. Like him showing up to the wedding and kind of been like, sorry about all that.
Yeah,
that was like, so it was like the only chink in the armor that was like the blossom of this relationship. It's just kind of funny because like literally all she did was just like talk too much about her ex. Which he kind of did too, you know what I mean?
But he did too. He was spilled all this stuff about like they had a garden together that was supposed to be for summer salads, but now it's just like bitter lettuce because they're broken up, and he can't even go in the garden. That was like not an unintense bombshell to drop.
Right.
You know, I think she just was like ramblier and more intense, and that like threw him for a loop.
Well, and some of the stuff that she was saying was just like, you know, because like honestly too, it was also, she was basically, all she was saying, you know, she was like, well, why do we even do this, and why should we even try, yada yada yada, you know, like that's kind of, it's almost like telling him like, I don't even want to try this with you,
right? Like, like why would I even try dating? I got, you know, we get hurt so bad, you know, what's the point? And so then you go, like, what is the point? Maybe I won't date this person, or in general, but certainly
or
not
clearly this person ain't ready to date anyone. You know.
But then, you know, we get the pondering of, you know, settling down, just plain settling, or refusing to settle for anything less than butterflies. That's right. They say butterflies because they can't commit to their own stupid bit.
And what's the bit?
I love that the way, this very stupid way I say it kills you. That makes me so happy
because I know the emotion behind it. That's why I can really feel how you really don't like it, and making you say it just gives me pleasure.
Happy to oblige.
And we had to end the episode with a nice big laugh. I appreciate it. Thank you for inclining on my.
Oh, my pleasure. So yeah, that's what do you call it? That's the episode.
Season 5.
Season 5 is in the can. We're on to season 6 next time. We're pre-taping this, but fun fact, this episode will air on Halloween, so happy spooky Halloween to everybody listening on the day it premieres. Do you have any Halloween plans? Are you gonna be anything in particular?
I haven't thought about it, but I'll figure out something. I got a bunch of costumes in my closet.
Yeah. You're an actor,
like so I'll throw something together. I'll figure it out.
As of the pre-tape, I'm going to a thing on Saturday, like a jack-o'-lantern like walkthrough thing, which is supposed to be very fun, and
that sounds amazing.
Food trucks and booze in front, so you can't go wrong with that. And then I don't know what I'm doing like Halloween weekend. Mm-hmm. The 29th is kind of the primo day, and I don't have anything planned.
Oh yeah.
But it's okay.
I have a friend coming in town that night, so she'll probably let me go do something. I don't have any plans, but she'll probably figure out some shit.
But whatever your Halloween plans are, or if you're listening to this far into the future when it's not even Halloween at all, hope you had a good Halloween, or depending on the timeline, we'll have another good Halloween. I'm just imagining a ton of
Christmas,
or Christmas, or Thanksgiving, or Arbor Day, whatever.
Year's, Flag Day.
Yeah. Happy International Women's Day.
whatever
holiday you're enjoying.
Because the YouTube algorithm is weird, so you may.
It is. You may see this in a time when it's dead of summer.
Right.
Get it? Dead because it's Halloween. You can find me on the internet most easily at Elizabeth Movies on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Where can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on everything, all social media at Christopher T. Mack, as you see on the screen.
And then you can find our show most easily on Instagram. We go to Show Me What Podcast, all lowercase, all one word. And that'll take you to our Twitter, our Facebook, and our YouTube. And as always, just in time for spooky Halloween season, or any holiday of your choosing, Arlo Australia candles, promo code Show Me Miss, 10% off. Enjoy some good smelling candles. Yeah, once Halloween's passed and we start getting into the real like candle burning fall scents.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna have a good time with these. We love them.
Also, I just wanted to say this. I forgot to add this from the notes, but Samantha had the best insult for those women. She called them cocoa butter bitches.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I let that go by. Sorry.
I just remember I was looking at my notes and I wrote it down. I was like, cocoa butter bitches. That was fantastic.
That insult has always stuck in my brain. It's so fucking funny. It's so good.
Cocoa butter bitches.
Cocoa butter bitches. It's
but yes, great. Make sure you get your candles. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes.
Make sure you comment. You know what I'm saying? Even if you just say, hey, I like the show. Just comment something. Get the algorithm going.
Let me know if you hate Zazazu as much as I do.
And say with that accent. Yeah, type that in the comments so we know you actually like the show.
So we know you're listening.
Hell yeah. All right,
guys. See you next time.
Beep.